Hi, I'm Sam Jeppe of the Holistic Business Institute, and I have this quick video for you about probably the most devastating mistake that you might make in your business that you might not even be aware of, and it's based on the level of certainty behind your actions. It's kind of a quirky little thing that I've realized as I've built a six-figure business helping people in counseling and other types of self-improvement. So I want to just explain this to you rather quickly so that you understand this conceptually, and then as you see there's a form on this page for you to join my list and get more trainings like this. But first let me just show you this. Level of certainty is really important, and you might be wondering what I'm talking about. And I have behind me this chart. One of them says success and aspiring. Success is eating, aspiring toward business. So why am I comparing eating to business? It seems kind of weird, right? Well, here's why. Because something you're very successful at and something that you're aspiring to be successful at, if we compare those things, we're going to find the same sort of process inherent in both. And actually, when I coach people, I coach them along a 5-point system of goals, strategies to meet the goals, skills that we need to implement the strategies, and then the environment that we're in so that we can be supportive of this path, and then also the state of mind, which actually everything starts with a state of mind. Once our state of mind is proper, then we create the right environment, and then we need that right environment if we're going to develop our skills so that we can implement the strategies to meet our goals. This is a simple 5-part framework that I work with when I help people meet their goals. So when you look at eating, because it's something that you're very successful at and you're certain of what to do. What I mean is that when you're hungry, you're certain of what that means. You don't get hungry or feel hunger and then get up and go to the bathroom or walk down the street and go to the post office or whatever. You know exactly what to do when you feel hunger. That state of mind, hunger, compels you to do something very clear and specific, and you're successful at it, and you've been successful at it for years and years, for almost your whole life. But there was a time when you weren't successful, when you didn't know how to eat. It's one of the first things you learned. In fact, it might be the first thing that you learned was how to eat. When you were a baby, your mother tried to feed you, you would spit the food up, you didn't know how to, you didn't have the skill to chew or to cook the food or whatever. You hadn't learned it yet. But it's one of the first things that you learned was how to chew, swallow food, and those skills. And you learned that when you're hungry, you need to get food. If your parent isn't there, then you need to go to the kitchen, get the food, put it in your mouth. That's the strategy. Of course, the goal is eating. The strategy is get up, go to the kitchen. There is a strategy. You had to learn it. Now it's so deeply embedded and you've been successful so long, you don't think of it this way. But it's very important to think of it this way, because then when we start to compare it to business, you'll see how these things falter. So the goal is eating. The strategy is to go to the kitchen or go to where the food is and get the food and then put it in your mouth. The skills, you need certain skills. You need to know how to walk, how to chew, how to cook, how to prepare the food. Or let's say if you don't have the skill, like if you can't walk, you will make sure that there's something in your environment that will bring the food to you. You'll make sure that your environment is conducive to those skills. You'll be near a food source, that's the environment, and like I said, if you can't walk yourself, you'll make sure that someone will bring you the food. Like you'll have a nurse or you'll have a surrogate, someone in your family. Some way you'll be able to get to the food. And the state of mind is hunger. So hunger, when you feel hunger, you act through this process very successfully, and you've set your entire life up to win this challenge because it's that important to you. You live near a food source. You don't live out in the middle of the desert somewhere. You have developed, either you have the skills yourself or you make sure someone is there to make sure that you are able to satisfy this. And again, realize how much of your life is really organized around being successful at this, because it's that important. Let's say that you become paralyzed or something. One of the first things that you're going to do is make sure you have someone to help feed you or bring food to you or overcompensate for the fact that maybe you can't get to the food anymore. So again, you make sure to get this met. And then of course the strategy is to then go to the kitchen and get the food, and so that you can satisfy the goal of eating. You've been successful at this because it is one of the first things that you learned, but you didn't always know it. But now that's something that's a bedrock of your life, and you act with clarity and a lack of confusion. For instance, when you get hungry, you're certain that it's the right thing to get up and go to the kitchen and get some food. You're not like, oh, I wonder, is this the right thing to do? Should I try this way? Should I do that? Should I do that? These are the things you go through in your business, and we'll talk about the business next. So, what happens in your business if we apply the same standards and the same path to success? Well, the goal of the business is to grow and to get clients and to get customers and to serve and to make money. I should have that here, but business, the goal of the business is to be successful and to grow it and to serve and to contribute whatever it is that you want to contribute. So the strategies are, let's say, through a website, flyers. This is a promotional strategy, but also the strategy is actually somehow delivering the services. Like, let's say you're a massage therapist or you do something, then the strategies are whatever the skills are that you employ. The strategy to get the money for the business is to, okay, you give me your money and I'll do this for you. So that's the service. The services are part of a strategy, but also just the general strategies to get business, which is what we're talking about. We're going to assume that you already know what the business is and that you're already, set up in it. Being successful in the business is what you're aspiring toward. You're aspiring to be even more successful on a level that you haven't experienced yet, on a level where you're not certain yet. You haven't been successful yet at that next level, and that's what we're talking about. So let's say you want to get more business. So one of the strategies is to, get the website and put out flyers and sell your products. These are all strategies to make the business successful. Then you need skills. You need to learn how to design those things. You need to either get products made, or either you make the products or whatever it is. These are all skills that you need to develop. Are ways to make products, ways to design websites or flyers. Certainly online, there are all kinds of scripts and things that, online store scripts and all kinds of, like email lists and blogs, and all of these things are strategies that require an upgrade of skills, probably skills that you don't have. Like you see other people that are doing things like, let's say with a membership site or with something else that's technical, and you don't have those skills yet. You don't even know how this would fit into your business. Basically, you haven't learned how to eat yet. You don't even know what kind of food you're supposed to eat. So the food you're supposed to eat would maybe be the strategies, and then the skills are like how to prepare that food. Like one of the things that you would need to eat or to stay nourished would be, let's say like you would have a membership site, or you would have a blog where you write articles that leads to a blog that has a store or something like that. All of these things work together in a very subtle and elegant way. First, you need to know what strategies are going to be most beneficial. Then you need to learn what skills, and you need to upgrade those skills. What often happens though is people don't even know which strategies they need, so they don't know which skills to focus on. The thing to realize, it's just like things that you do in your life now. You don't need to know how to build a car to know how to use the car to reach your goal. And so this is a big thing, like with all the technology. People are overwhelmed by the technology. You don't need to learn how to make it, you just need to learn how to use it. But the first thing you need to understand is that you actually need the car, or that most people don't even know which things they need, let alone how to use them. So this is a big part of success in your business, is developing your skills, the appropriate skills for the appropriate tools and strategies. So then you also need your location to be proper. The environment. So part of the environment used to be in regular brick and mortar businesses was the actual location. Like you wanted to be on Main Street where people were walking by and would come into your store. Of course, the better the location, the more money it costs to rent that space. Now, with the virtual world, space is free. In fact, everything is just about free online. So a lot of these logistics and this intensive capital is not even an issue anymore. But the environment has to do with your location, like let's say like your web location, but also your immediate environment. Like you need to be set up to win in your home environment, your office environment, just like you're set up to win with food living near a food source. You're not out in the desert somewhere. If you're not even in an area in your home or your office and you haven't set up empowering routines, success rituals, and you don't already have these things, begin to create an environment. Like for me, for example, my environment includes the fact that when I turn on my computer, I have folders where I have all of my blogs and all of my member sites and all this stuff. It's already set up. The environment is there for me to just blast ahead and be successful because I've already done it. And what I wind up doing is sort of like teaching people to eat, but I'm teaching them how to do this, how to set this stuff up so that they can win very easily. And so then when you get that hunger to contribute, rather than the hunger for food, it's the hunger to contribute and make a difference. It doesn't matter what you want to make a difference in or how you want to change the model of success that you're looking to aspire toward. That hunger to contribute then gets plugged into this routine and this structure and system that makes it just as easy as when you're hungry in your belly, you get up and go to the kitchen. But see, the thing is that you just haven't established these things yet. You haven't established the right environment and routine so you can streamline. You're not even sure what skills you need to develop yet. Is it this? How do you social media, Twitter, or website, a blog, a member site, or websites, how to set them up, or all of these things. Also, one of the biggest things is actually making products. Making products that you can sell. Often when I consult with people, they don't even realize how easy it is to make information products, sell them online, get their customers around it, emailing lists, how to handle those things, how to handle the logistics so you're set up to win. Like I said, as it comes to eating, it's one of the first things you learned. You're totally confident about it. You don't try one thing and then go, oh, was that the right thing? Well, I'm going to stop eating for a while now. The next time I get hungry, I'm just not going to eat. See, this is what happens with business because it's inconsistent. You give up. You try this thing and then it doesn't work and then you give up on it and all kinds of stuff. So this is a very important analogy, at least I've found. And what I encourage you to do is to join the list on this page, and I have several other videos. In fact, the next one I'm going to really talk about the implications of how this works and a thing called false certainty. And false certainty is really probably the most devastating mistake that we make in business and really in life. And I'm going to dissect the process of how that happens. So go ahead, give your name and email address in the forum, and I'll send that to you and see you inside.